Over the past 3 years, this garden has taught me almost everything I know about gardening itself. I've had some hard lessons, some really big wins, and some interesting learnings along the way. Today, I face the real reality, picking it all up and starting over again. Hello and welcome to Sproutlogic Gardening. So, I faced the reality of a move. We've been here a little over 3 years, and like I said, this garden's taught me a lot. Almost everything I know about gardening. It's where I really had a chance to expand and experiment in a climate that worked pretty well. However, things are changing. Gonna have to move. Right now we're sitting mid-July, and this is 2026. We're gonna be moving September 2026. So we got about a month and a half roughly to make this happen. Now, I searched online, I looked at YouTube, a whole bunch of different resources. There really isn't a good guide on how to move a garden. So I wanted to actually make that for you. I wanted to document the journey that we're gonna have moving this garden, but also break down a move for you so it's easier to do. So in the case in the future you need to do the same thing, you have a nice resource to help you out along the way. Now for this video, we're gonna simply be doing an assessment and looking around, right? I wanna see what I'm taking, what I'm leaving, and what I'm probably giving away to my neighbor. So we might as well just dive right into it. So this first bed here, which has been in a lot of my videos, and it's usually the trouble videos, is the probably, I'd say I'm probably gonna take about 50% of what's in here. Actually, looking at it now, when I assess it, I probably won't be taking any of this. Let me explain. So I have two hybrid tea roses in here, Yak Bloom, Enchanted Peace, and then I have marigolds. Now marigolds are an annual, so there's no point for me to relocate these because, frankly, they'll be dead by the end of the year, and I don't think they do really well with the move itself, right? So these won't be coming. This spin top I have in the bed, it's pretty much reached the end of its life. It's looking extremely sad. It started off pretty strong in the season. Right now, sitting in July, it's pretty much on its last leg. That's expected. These typically last about 2 to 3 years at most. It is a perennial, but it's kind of a short-lived perennial. It doesn't really do well the second or third year, so that won't be coming. These two roses, yeah, they definitely won't be coming either. So I've given them quite some time to do well in my garden, about 2 years. And unfortunately, they just haven't made the cut. This is going to be part of your decision process, right? You need to think through what deserves a spot in your garden. What are you bringing with you? Now, I never recommend just throwing plants out, right? So the things I'm not going to take, I will be donating either to my neighbor or maybe a local school or someplace that would want to be able to take these plants on and take care of them. Because again, I've spent time with them. I grew them. I don't want to just get rid of them or toss them out. But these two hybrid teas just really never did well. And where I'm moving, it's going to be the same exact grow zone. So climate's the same. They're not going to do well where I move either. So that's something I need to really face and deal with. So in reality, this bed will be dug out and basically the stuff will be donated. Won't be taking anything here. This dahlia, this apricot water lily dahlia, I will absolutely be taking. So it's in a pot. Lucky me. So reality-wise, this is not going to be a hard one to deal with, but we're taking this one for sure. And then, of course, I have a new rose I got, which is the Grateful Dead rose by Grace Farms, and I will be taking that. It's in a pot, super easy, no problem, so that's coming along for the ride. Let's keep looking at what else we're going to be taking. Okay, so this is another shot of another part of my garden, of course, and quite a lot of plants actually in this area here. What might not be on camera is my Cloud 10 climbing rose. I'm absolutely taking that. That's in a pot. Next to me, I have two limoncello roses. These are by Grace Farms as well. By the way, amazing shipping, fantastic roses and products. I gotta say, the best shipping I've ever seen ordering plants online. And they're really solid. All of them bounce back. They're doing really well. Can't complain. But anyways, I'm definitely taking these. I have two of them, and they're in pots. We're in good position there, same with the Cloud 10. Where things get a little more murky, of course, is the rest of the beds here. So I have petunias. I won't be taking those. Again, that's an annual. Probably won't do so well on the move. I have a couple salvias now, and then I have a bee balm next to it as well. These are perennials. Absolutely taking these. They're really good for bees and wildlife. I frankly enjoy them, and they're really maintenance free. They just do their thing. Other than a little deadheading, they're great. This bed, I haven't had a chance to share with you all, I had to do a reset. This was a chamomile bed. It was looking horrible, and I tried everything to bring the chamomile back. It just frankly just wasn't working. It was dying. So I ended up doing a complete reset of that bed. I dumped all the soil out, I took the chamomile out, and then I put in verbena and a catmint. I will be bringing these. These are both perennials. I just got them. They're doing great, and again, great for wildlife, and I enjoy them. Got a buddleia here. Had this for about 3 years. I'm absolutely bringing this. And so this is another great benefit to wildlife. In fact, there's a bee right here within about 3 inches of my hand there. So it just tells you what kind of benefits it brings. Now I have some yarrow, a dianthus, and then these are sweet peas. Now this is butterfly sweet pea flower. Now this is more of a tropical, we'll say, climate plant. Certainly will do much better in my garden versus, you know, something like a normal sweet pea. It's just too warm, too muggy for normal sweet peas. This will do quite well. I am bringing all of these for sure, without a shadow of a doubt. Perennials, except for the butterfly sweet pea flower. However, I've invested a lot of time. Oh, and ironically, there's actually already a bloom on it. That's pretty cool. A couple blooms. I didn't notice that. Invested a lot of time in this plant, and I don't want to lose that time. Now, they don't move very well, so it's going to be interesting to see how well they do, but we'll find out. And then my raspberry in a pot. Looking a little sad right now. Raspberries tend to struggle in the summer, especially with the record heat wave we've had. The heat's been really beating them up, but I'm going to bring it. That's something I want to take along, and that, again, that's something I really enjoy. One of my videos, actually, one of my most successful videos, in fact, if you want to check it out, kind of explains why I planted it in a pot versus just putting it into a ground. All right, so let's keep this train moving. Let's take a look at some other plants. All right, so moving right along, this is another bed I have with some in-ground things. Marigolds, again, speak for themselves. I'm not going to be taking these. I'll be donating these. Have some gladiolas in the ground. Not taking them as well. Really no point. In fact, they honestly didn't do so great. I had one flush of flowers. It seems I've gotten some sort of rust disease on them for most of them, so not really doing so great. Now, I have a lily in this bed I won't be taking. In fact, when it put out its growth, it just did green growth. There was no flowers, so something's wrong with the bulb. I had a second one in here that never flowered. Not taking that. My Pope John Paul II white rose. This is a borderline situation, right? For me, I got this, did a bunch of research. It should do well in my garden. It hasn't done well at all. It's been struggling arguably worse than the other two hybrid tea roses. So I am going to give it a shot. I am going to take it. It's only been in place for less than a year. So I want to give it an opportunity to bounce back and see if maybe it's something that'll work out. So I'm going to take it. I have these white salvias here. These are both perennials. I will be taking them. I really enjoy them. Salvias are frankly one of my most favorite plants. I love the benefit they provide to wildlife, but they're also really great to look at. My white swan dahlia, absolutely coming with me. This is a staple in my garden. I will not be planting this in a bed like this again for sure, based on the height. And the one thing I forgot to mention, where I'm moving, I'm putting a lot of things in ground. There'll be no more raised beds, pots. These things will actually be able to grow in the ground in the garden. So I have a Bolero white rose here. It's done pretty darn good for its first year. Put on some good growth, pretty disease resistant, a little trouble here and there. But honestly, I wish I had gotten two of these instead of the Pope John Paul. Definitely bringing this with me. Last but not least, I have another water lily apricot dahlia. That is coming with me. I will dig that out of the ground for sure. So I have about 2 more spots to look at here. So let's go ahead and take a look at those. Okay, so the next spot in my garden you all have definitely seen before. I have a couple in-ground beds, pots, and then some things that are actually on the ground itself. So this bed was a mix of echinacea and yarrow. It had a bit of a catastrophe happen recently. I hadn't had a chance to share it, but I had a vole visit the bed, and basically he wiped out and killed a couple plants because he ate the roots, damaged this echinacea, and that yarrow was in a really sad state. I did add a dwarf goldenrod in the back. Not sure why I put it in the back, because it's completely covered by the echinacea, but that's something we'll remediate and fix when we move to the new garden. So I'm taking the echinacea, the dwarf yellow goldenrod, and I will take this yarrow. The other echinacea that died, not much I can do with that, obviously, won't be taking that. To the right, I have a thornless blackberry. Won't be taking that. In fact, I'll be mowing that back and hopefully getting grass to come in right there. No real great way to transport it. It's huge, and I don't really have a spot for it. So that'll just be staying here / being pushed back again. Part of my war with the blackberries and raspberries I put in the ground. So over here, I have this is a butterfly bush. Now this one only flowers in the spring. I believe it's called a weeping butterfly bush. Kind of looks almost like a lilac tree in a sense. I will be taking this for sure. That'll be planted in ground. My lavenders, yeah, I mean, definitely coming with me, no doubt about it. So I'll be taking both of those. In that pot over there, I have a sea holly, a very sad looking sea holly. Now, if you ever get sea holly, it takes about a year or so to get established. It'll be extremely sad looking for a year or two. That's totally normal, but I will be taking that. So yeah, we should probably move on to the last part of my garden. So the shaded part of my garden, the trouble spot I have, I'm definitely taking these hydrangeas. The other things behind me that are the ferns, I'm going to leave behind. Where I'm going to be moving, there really isn't a shaded spot. They won't do well. These guys are going to struggle a little bit. In fact, I'll probably need to use shade cloth in order to take care of them. Now, some honorable mentions that I didn't put on video for you. My peach tree, goes without saying, it's definitely staying here. It's about 10, 12 feet tall. There's no way I'm digging it out of the ground. I do have a clematis I'm taking with me in a pot, a yellow jasmine that's coming with me that's in a pot, and then I have a bunch of things on my back porch that are in a pot that I'm taking with me. A couple echinacea, more yarrow, royal candle. The zinnia is an annual. It's in a pot. I'm going to take it with me. That's totally okay. And then the dragon's breath also is an annual I'm taking with me. So that pretty much covers the plants and things that are in my garden. Now, one last piece I forgot to mention. The only raised bed I'm taking is the wooden one you saw with the dahlia and the other things. The rest of these I'll be just donating and giving away. The soil I'm not going to be really taking either. Important to mention, when you're planting, you might want to plan for stuff like that. You don't want to take soil that's currently with you in case there's disease or pests that are in it. But yeah, this is phase one. This is essentially just assessing what you have, deciding yes, you're coming, no, you're not going. And then from there, in our next couple episodes, we're going to cover how to dig them out. Where you're going to put them into, transportation, replanting, etc. I'm really excited to share this journey with you. I hope this video is helpful. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And of course, if you have any comments, questions, concerns, let me know. And we'll see you on the next video. Take it easy.